All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fragbite Masters. We are about to go into the last match of Group B for tonight. It's the winner match, and it's going to be between EnVy and LGB. So, already, we've had a pretty quick series to start us off. I'm trying to look for a word to describe it apart from just outright stomp. What Neophyte did to Flipside tonight.
Yeah, that was brutal. Unexpected as well, but kind of exciting as well.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Pretty clean run.
Yeah, not much to say. I hope you guys are going to give Neophyte some credit as well. They are over on Twitter as well. I think Oscar, who played really well, actually has a Twitter account that no one is following, but someone should be. At CSGO Oscar. Really easy to remember, so go and do that, guys. Played super well. Him and...
Quest Zone.
Yeah, and also Zero played really well on Mirage. So just generally, really outstanding performances. Really fun team to watch, actually. Really enjoyed it. Now we're going to go into kind of a different feel. These are more tested players, I would say, at least lately, especially EnVy.
Yeah, in particular, EnVy, they're under the spotlight, right, for being one of the top 2 teams in the world, essentially, right now. Even if the last tournament that they attended wasn't as super smooth as they would have liked. They kind of went out, I believe, in 4th. So, I mean, it was a bit of a rough ride for them, but they are bouncing back. And tonight is a match that, or tonight is a night at least, they'll be looking to close out the first seed. And they're the highly favored team to do so. So, NBK, Shoxy, Happy, Kyoshima, and Smiths, you have the lineup here. And these guys are basically contenders for the throne at the top of the field. So we should be expecting them to come through tonight. I mean, their opponent's LGB, not to be taken lightly either, although there has been some roster changes on the team recently. There's been quite a bit of a shuffle. So it's kind of hard to predict like what they're capable of just because of that random element of you have a new player in the team. So
yeah. And that's what we always say whenever we introduce this kind of matchup. We always end up saying, well, that has to be their strength, and they have to be unpredictable and hard to counter because who knows what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same old in that sense. But LGB are a fun team to watch when they do play like that because they're pretty good at it. I mean, they seem to make it work.
Last time, right? They had some pretty sick. They had some pretty sick rounds from what I can remember. This happened last week, but here we go. The lineup that we have tonight. They will be playing. Well. Yeah, I was about to say, Rain isn't in the roster anymore. That's been made official today. He's going to be playing now in Kingwin with Michael and Scream. But you've got Rubino, Mystic, Yakum, PRB, and Polly, who are going to be playing for LGB tonight.
Well, how do you pronounce that new team's name?
Kingwin?
All right. Just say it really fast. I don't know why. I would say Kingwin. I don't know why.
Kingwin.
It's an interesting name. Either way, it's an interesting team as well. I have no idea how that team. I can't even on paper, I just look at it and think, what the hell is going on? But then I want to watch it. I want to see it play anyway because it could be hilarious.
I saw your tweet.
Yeah,
hilarious could be a word.
You understand the subtext of that crazy team?
Hilarious could be a good word to describe it.
Look at it this way: if it works, it'll be like the most genius move of all time. Like it'd be so ridiculous.
Oh, it'd be exactly. It'd just be like the most ridiculous sort of turn of events because then it just basically says, what are strats? Do you need strats? No, you don't really need strats. You just need to shoot people in the face. And there you go. Like that's what that team boils down to for me at least.
It feels like it.
Sure, you've got Fox and you've got some. Rain also should be leading, but it's like Rain.
Rain's a super smart player.
Yeah, super smart, but super quiet player, right? Who just kind of does his thing. Scream also, kind of just does his thing. Michaelele as well. So I mean, it's like you've got some sick aimers on that team. Now it's just like, okay, who's gonna bring them all together to go and
It'll just make for the most interesting Counter-Strike where every round from their team is only ever won by a 1v3 or 1v4. Just there's always only going to be one person left and that person left. That's all of it.
I can see that. I can see that happening. It's so hard to predict.
I mean, it is hard to predict. It could turn out entirely differently. Maybe they're going to catch everyone off guard. But I'm really looking forward to it. Regardless, that means they're going to have Mystic playing instead of Rain. And Mystic last time turned out to be a completely ridiculous player. Just played out of his mind. Everything he did just worked. So no matter how stupid it was.
It's what we're waiting to see if we're going to have a repeat performance basically from him.
Yeah.
Because he was a big part of why they made it through.
That's going to be really hard to do a repeat of that. If he does a repeat of that, we were already joking last time and said he's going to open his inbox after this game and see a bunch of invitations from top teams. If he does it again, then he's going to be recruited straight on.
Well, all right. Well, already nothing complicated coming out from LGB here in this pistol round. It looks like they'll be starting on the CT side, and it's going to be full Kevlar across the board for them. So they're not trying to get fancy a la flip side with a bunch of nades. They're just looking for a straight up mono and mono fight. And Mystic already off to, start getting shot in the face. Kyoshima is actually going to run and gun and just headshot him down. Rubino gets caught out in connector as well. So EnVy off to a terrific start here.
Yeah, especially as Happy was coming up from the bottom side of connector. But look at this Jacob picking up 2 great shots. And he's going to down Shox and MBK. Kyoshima will return with a double of his own. But it's back into a 2v2. They're wrapping back around to the B-bomb site. And PRB sees it coming. PRB, by the way, also a very experienced player in the Norwegian Counter-Strike scene, and kind of feels like almost a must-have if you're going to build a Norwegian squad. Somewhere in there you should have PRB. Bomb goes down, Happy goes hunting to try and keep people back, gonna run right into the opening arms of Polly, who's also going to be the last man standing. He goes down to Happy. Nice way to finish. Kyoshima with a triple kill that round. And EnVy, they end up winning it after all. That looked for a while like it wasn't a sure thing.
Yeah, that looked a whole lot closer than I thought it would be. But Jacob, we'll just call him Jacob. I mean, there's a way that you say it with like the Norwegian accent, but apparently I'm butchering it, so I'm just going to stick to what's clean and simple, what's American, and what I see is Jacob. So Jacob, he gets a Jacob, he gets a triple kill, and well, he's off to a terrific start here on this first map.
Yeah.
We'll lay off the southern accent. Even though, it's my root, Sanders. Born in Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. I was surprised as well. I didn't even know that. Well, Rubino is going to be taking down Shox. So right now it's an even trade. Happy has picked up a sawn-off shotgun. Not killed anyone with it yet. And Jacob picked off Smiths. And you could see he was looking for a face behind those rocks. Not going to turn out, though, that way. It will be a 2v3. And this is winnable for LGB. They're stacked up in an interesting position, kind of both covering the same angle. No one's at B, and maybe Happy's going to realize that if he keeps pushing. But he's actually falling back instead. If they run into these two people at the toilets, it could be big. And there's Kyoshima gone down, and the bomb's been dropped as well. Could they see it yet? No, they can't.
Oh, scary moment there for NBK, and he gets overwhelmed. So it is going to be just Happy alive. And he's only got the sawn-off shotgun to work with. Well, as I say that, he swaps out for the AK. So he's going to be pleased about that find. But he still needs to find the remaining 2 Bel-Airs. And finding one out in the middle of the nowhere, basically, out in the middle of Long, that's a big opening now for Happy to work with. He's got some nades to work with as well. But with only 30 seconds left, there isn't a whole lot of time for subtlety here. No,
and I think this is favoring right now PRB. He's got so much more health. And this 5-7 is great for exactly this kind of position here. Happy's going to have such a tough time. He will actually manage to get down here, and that's a very smart move. PRB sees it coming. If only he could pick up a grenade, he could finish the round as Happy was planting. But now instead, he's going to have to play straight retake instead. Happy, definitely a nice person to have left in a 1v1 like this for EnVy. Wraps back around, out through the smoke. PRB does not have a kit, so this playing for time right now, which is what Happy is doing, is so smart. It puts all the pressure on the CT that's left here. Happy checking left and right. Now is he going to realize he's playing so far back?
Yeah, he's playing so careful. Now, I mean, half of this bomb has already gone past, even more. And this is just basically PRB trying to draw him out into the open. Perhaps he'll have the shots. Oh, he will have the shots, but he's not going to have the time. No kit to get the defuse, so backs off, saves that AK.
And this is still a huge win for LGB, mind you. Happy played it really, really smartly. No challenge, just trying to stay as far away as possible. So, but it's still LGB killing 5 members and getting an AK and a grenade and a kit away with as well. So that's huge for them.
No, that's really solid. And mainly, I mean, look at this. What that prompts out of EnVy is actually just straight Tech 9s.
Wow.
Whoa, they're just evening. I mean, they're looking to maximize the returns here. This is a big greed play from EnVy. They're not even going to bother going for Galils or other, insignificant rifles that aren't going to matter. No, they're just going to go straight in, barreling onto this site, and they completely overwhelm PRB right off the bat.
Yeah, the AK is already gone. Polly's getting 1 return kill, but this greedy play, and I think you're absolutely right, it was.
Greed is good, Anders.
Yeah,
this
apparently.
is the example.
Oh, man. Jacob all alone. Not a lot to do. Shoxy round in the corner. Going to find him with the CZ. And that will be the end of the round as EnVy will pick up that 3rd round. And relatively easily as well. Pretty good call. LGB probably going to be a bit upset. Especially because you put the 1 AK down on like the biggest choke point on the map. They line up for you. Really, really want to sit down and just spray, the whole team down. That could have actually happened. Imagine if LGB had like 1 good flashbang with them there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly right. If they could have just slowed him down just even a split second there, that could have been horrendous. Instead, it's the Tech 9s that just go barreling in, and that's EnVy at their finest, essentially. I mean, Dupree himself said it not too long ago, right? It's all about the meta, play the meta, and nothing else. And, well, EnVy, they're kings of just that.
Yeah.
A very quick rotation in here. Actually, Rubino kind of getting caught out. They spot him just in the nick of time, but then again, this draws the attention to Jacob. He's stepping all over the place, though, and Happy is there to cut him out.
Oh, man. Jacob missed that timing by just a couple of seconds. I think now the bomb's gone down in A, and they're all rotating in, but this rotation has taken so long, and when they don't have a kit picked up, I would say unless they get a lightning fast opening, they might as well run away and try and save what they have here on LGB. This is like, you know, waste 5 seconds. If you can't find an opening, fall back instead. And yeah, that's what they're doing. Not even 5 seconds.
They don't even know that there's only 2 guys alive on this site. A third one rotates in with Kyoshima in mid, but Happy, he didn't even care. He just stayed all the way out top mid. He was like, nope, don't even need to come onto this side. I'm not going to be necessary. Shoxy clicks away PRB, spots out another man. If he got that headshot, that would have been sick, but Rubino is going to get the double headshot instead. So still making this a costly round here. And LGB, yeah, not going to be able to get that HE there in time to try and cut out Rubino. So, I mean, Envy are paying a lot of money every round right now to get re-equipped. LGB, if they're not picking up the rounds, at least they're managing to do some pretty decent economic damage.
Yeah, shame they lost that third rifle, but they're going to manage to buy anyway here. Not going to be perfect, but not going to be completely useless either. A lot more kits on the LGB side this time. They really do matter when you're going to have to go for that kind of retake. Just so little time if you don't have the kit picked up. Jacob this time playing on the opposite side, really close to the bathroom here, and just going to be ready and waiting. Shoxy coming around the corner for Mars here. Not going to be quite good enough. Almost got the kill then, but a little bit of health left on Shox.
Nice, and you can really see some good teamwork coming out here, at least from Envy, checking these angles with flashes, making sure that they aren't going to be overly exposed. That's NBK kind of getting caught out here at long, but that opens it up for Shoxy to peek in, take out Poly. Rubino does return, however, he takes that M4 and manages to put it to good use, but it's still a man advantage now for Envy. They've still got fairly good control, although Rubino's in position here at my connector, and he hears them stepping through, so he's going to be in an ideal spot, actually.
Unless he gets sandwiched in from Happy on the other side, he kind of wants to stay focused here, and they open the door. Rubino get the one kill in, falls off the ledge, pistols out now, but Kyoshima will take him out. And I wonder if PRB on the other side could have wallbanged through, but either way, he's inside the site now, and they're going to come for him. Kyoshima lands a shot through that. Grenade not going to attack him just yet, but it will be Mystic to pick up MBK, and it's a 2v2. Mystic's rotation is pretty well timed here, but he has to come in a little bit quick now and help out PRB. 25 seconds left, and Envy trying to get up on that site and get the bomb down quick. Kyoshima going down, Happy alone will fall, and PRB picks up a great double.
Alone as well, just holding down that site. He was the linchpin there as well, because they could have focused on short at that point. Smoke went down to block off CT, so it's clear that Envy weren't quite sure where the second man was coming through. They definitely expected some kind of rotation coming in from A, because they smoke out Sniper initially, and then they use another smoke to block CT, so they're definitely expecting the rotator to come in through there. They weren't expecting that backstab, but when Kyoshima dies, or rather when the man it was Kyoshima who only had 9 HP, you know, when he dies on short, that tells you where the second man is, and so if PRB dies, Envy know exactly where that second LGB member is coming from. PRB demonstrating how to flash yourself as well. Oh, and the team flash comes in, though. That's going to help so much. LGB setting it up and stopping this push.
Yeah, Envy really slowing down. Now they finally get that kill, and here's so much damage being dished out. 9 and 4 health on MBK and Shox here, and no bomb plant yet, but Kyoshima going to find Jacob, and LGB, they're crumbling in spite of doing all the damage in the beginning and slowing them down. This is a painful round for LGB if they end up losing it. It's a 2v4 right here. Poly going to flash his way in. He actually gets a perfect flashback, but Smith still takes him out. And Mystic running away. That's hard to watch.
That was just an all-out, like, that was, what, like 30 seconds non-stop of straight fight?
Yeah.
It was like non-stop, full-out war on that site. And Envy, I mean, look at NBK. That tells you the story. Like, Shoxy and NBK were both at like 4 and 6 HP for the longest time.
I mean, in the beginning when this map came out, the hardest thing to do was trying to actually stop those B rushes. People hadn't really figured out how to do it yet. And then it seemed like a sort of a stage developed where actually CT sides got pretty good at it. Pretty easy smokes to throw down, and maybe even sometimes a double follow-up, just people waiting on the other side. So if anyone tried to come through, doesn't matter if you're flashbang or anything else, it's such an easy pre-fire. But LGB actually giving up a couple of rounds here. Maybe this one was a painful one, but the other one was the one where PRB was there with the AK against all the Tech 9s. They really got to make sure they lock down that main pipe into the B-bomb site. Otherwise, they could end up in a tricky spot here.
They could end up with more of the same here because, once again, Envy have the perfect read on LGB's economy. They know that they're going to be broke after this. They only have to worry about the AK, and this time around, Mystic, he gets the triple spray down. That's what they're looking for right there.
Wow.
TRB and Rubino, but that's the case where they could have had that earlier LGB. They get it right this time. The AK comes through in spades for them.
And Rubino actually shooting the corpses of the fallen Envy members, which is sort of a game within the game here between Envy and a lot of members, or a lot of other teams. Envy is a team that will do that, shoot your corpses. So I think LGB is giving a little bit back, and I'm sure Envy are going to be laughing at that as well. Like, they know exactly what that is. And the problem is, if you make them upset or angry at you here, they could really, you know, they could want the victory even more. Could get hungry.
You always have to worry a little bit about, you know, the teams with the big egos, but in Envy's case, you know, that could be a strength, definitely. Smiths is going to take out Jacob to start. It's already mid-control, kind of lost here for LGB. They have a man out on long, but he can get easily smoked out or just caught out. Mystic, however, catches Happy, and that's the lurker there for Envy. So now Envy kind of have to worry about their back line.
Smoke goes down as well. The Molotov to try and force them. Pretty decent grenade actually raining out then. And Polly coming up from behind the A bomb site here, trying to see if he can get in. Gets a double kill as well, leaving a 2v3. And I like that Polly's falling this far back, but he will get stabbed in the back by Smiths, who came up from the toilets. So now it is a 2v2. No bomb plan is going to give LGB a little bit of time to think here.
Managed to pick up that bomb. That's the important thing. They made good use of the last nade, but Mystic takes out NBK in the meantime. It doesn't look like Smith is going to waste any time. Oh, no, he goes for the fake. He's really trying to draw them out here. Mystic very low on HP, down to 10, and PRB still waiting in bank. Smith is just waiting to see if somebody's going to peek out at him, but that's not going to be the case. 20 seconds left, and it looks like he's going to go for this bomb plant. So now he's committed. And if he wins this duel, it's going to be so big for him now. He's only up against a man with 10 HP left, and he knows where he's coming from as well. It's going to be so difficult here for Mystic. He needs to hit just a sick headshot, basically. Shut Smith down. He drops him down to half HP. But then he gets the kill just through the edge of the box. Smiths is gone.
Wow. This guy, Mystic, just will not let up. That is a pretty remarkable third kill in the streak there. What is his score overall? He's just saved a couple of rounds here for LGB, and he's at 9, 3, and 4. Yeah, he's actually tied more or less with the top fragger in Envy, which is currently Kiyoshima. So very, very impressive, and just what LGB needed. I mean, they're right at the edge here. We have seen a lot of teams playing Overpass do better and better on T side, especially since that adjustment to the A bomb side. Although, to be fair, Envy have won a bunch of rounds on B bomb side as well, so they're just playing really well at the moment.
Yeah, just fantastic holds all around. Polly goes for the aggressive hot peek at top mid. He's trying to catch them as they exit T-spawn, but it's not going to happen this time, and Happy will get Mystic. So there you go. Revenge for the last round. Happy's going to be pleased about that. Jacob holding down, and he manages to pick up a kill on long. Now he's got that flash as well. Kiyoshima going to back off, and they're still dancing on the edge, and he's going to get caught. So Kiyo brings it back to a 3-on-3 here for Envy. Now things slow down. I mean, it's been just non-stop aggression from both sides. Very action-packed rounds here.
Polly ready and waiting. They take the jump over. He goes back, and he sees that coming. It was a headshot as well. Shoxy getting taken out, so really good awareness on Polly, just clearly knowing the angles.
And the man, Rubino, just crouching. There's a little angle you can hold there from car, or at least from truck on the bomb site. He manages to just get that right. It's going to be Kiyoshima, last man alive here, 1v3. Rubino, there you go. You see? Just a little nick there. It's such a tricky little spot because it's so hard, as you guys can see, it's so hard to spot out the man.
Yeah, that actually, it looked like NBK, who was the first victim of that one, had no idea. And so this is actually sort of a real problem. We sometimes talk about off angles when you stand not in a corner but just sort of in the middle of everything. Part of the problem with doing that, apart from the fact that you're not going to be expecting it when you're the terrorist running around the corner, the other problem is you have to call it out to your team. Where is he? And you don't have a common name for that spot, so you kind of just have to explain, you know, in loose terms exactly what's going on. Good opening this time around. Shox going to be picking off Mystic, who is obviously a big resource here on the team, but this time he's already gone and they steal an AK away.
Got that to play with, and Shoxy's actually got Kevlar helmet as well to work with, so he's going to be the point man here for Envy, certainly. Whereas the rest of Envy can kind of throw themselves in the flames, draw the fire. It's going to be Jacob getting a kill onto Kiyoshima, but not a huge loss there. He didn't have too much on him. And Polly is... I mean, he got a nice explosive shot onto Shoxy in the last round, but he is missing some crucial shots at the beginning to open things up, and he turns away from Smiths. This could be a big opportunity. Now Smiths comes around that corner, and there you go. First kill on this site, and now they know Jacob's alive on this site as well. They're going to wrap right back onto him. But Smiths long range with that CZ-75 going to pick up that kill, and EnVyUs come back into this with an eco round win.
Something that they are so well known for. That is It's not the sole source of their strength, but it is a huge thing when they play even other top teams. I mean, yeah, they're playing to the metagame as seems to be really popular. Them and Fnatic are so good at it. Yeah, it's amazing. And you saw it work earlier when they sort of were a little bit greedy and just went for the Tech 9s instead of maybe trying to buy up. This time around, it was just, yeah, why not try it? I mean, keep investing into a couple of pistols and eventually it'll work.
Exactly, right? P250, I mean, there was also Kevlar picked up, you know, so they know how to just kind of like balance things out. I mean, sure, it's them balancing their economy out, but they know how to make every little bit count. And Happy, the flash isn't going to work, but that's not going to matter. Rubino with the point-blank headshot on him, so there you go. Rubino actually has a gun to work with now, and it looks like this is going to prompt EnVy to start pushing towards this A site. They realize there were two guys holding on B, so they want to apply the pressure quickly here, and they do manage to catch out Poly on long, so this is going to be big now. EnVy have a great opportunity to get onto this site and get the bomb plant, especially if NVK can take out PRB like that.
Yeah, and now Rubino charging through, gonna pick up the one kill, and Smith's actually missing a big opening, but he'll clean up Jacob either way. And a slightly expensive round for EnVy, losing 2 players, but not really the end of the world. They do have a pretty stable economy after all. LGB, on the other hand, they gotta get back into this. I think if they can stop EnVy at around 7 rounds, this is gonna be an alright half for them. If they can be like 8-7, they're not gonna be too much down in the dirt. But if it goes too far EnVy's way now, it's going to be troublesome.
Man, they're really making it rough on themselves as well, electing to skip over from Ossus to go straight to the M4, but that's costing them a lot of money extra. It's costing them nades, essentially. They had 3 smokes at the beginning of this round to stop anything coming in from EnVy, and now they only have 2 with a couple of flashes to back it on PRB. It's going to come down to rifle work like this, and Poly is going to be able to pick up the first man, but a 1-for-1 trade, EnVy are going to be perfectly fine with that. Especially when there's so little gear. I mean, EnVy have no way of knowing this. They know now that LGB have bought, but there's so few nades to work with here for LGB. It's going to come down to more rifle work like that.
Oh, smoke goes away, and Sharks is just a little bit quicker. Actually, Kyoshima there to pick up the kill on Jacob. But Rubino did pick off Happy, so they're still just trading. And currently, I guess the health advantage is just a little bit with EnVy, as Rubino's down below 40, which is not cool. Still, that, I don't know, that smoke clearing up there looked like it could have gone either way with Jacob maybe picking up that kill. That would have been big.
Agreed. It would have been a bit of a coin toss there. It seems like once again EnVy are interested in going towards this A site. Shoxy sets it up. That's going to be the standard sniper smoke. He's just drawing attention to this B site. That's kept Rubino over here, but Rubino sees nobody coming in through the main entrance. They've got 2 guys holding solid on this A site. Mystic and PRB both picking up the frags. That's all that had to happen there for LGB. It's down to Shoxy, the last man alive, and it's not looking too hot here for him. He has to hit some incredible shots here if he wants to pull through, but LGB, they don't peek him at the same time. The damage is done, and Mystic is not going to miss that shot with the AWP, but talk about a close scenario there. If Mystic misses that shot, he's a dead man, and then it's down to Rubino having to rotate up from B.
Yeah, and there would have even been enough time for Shox to put the bomb down in a safe position there, so yeah, you're right, that was really scary. They barely make it out alive, and make it 5-7. EnVy could make the buy once more, but if they lose now, they will have to eco, and at that point, I mean, 8-7 is not out of the question here. It could definitely happen. Early grenades maybe coming out here. They're actually going to stay back, LGB. I thought they were going to try and run and take the fight early on. Just trying to keep it cool.
They have slowed down the pace somewhat. Could be down to Poly. That looks so close. But instead, it's Jacob to pick up a kill. And again, Jacob playing from restroom. He's been just doing that time and time again. So surprising to see that he's still able to pick up frags here. Shoxy this time hunts him down. So we bring it back to a 4-on-4. But Shoxy took quite a bit of damage there. So he's going to have to be a little bit wary now moving around on this map. Doesn't want to walk in some random HE or something. That'll be a bit sad for him.
He almost could have, because I think Poly just put one down in this general direction. Still plenty of time for the EnVy team, and you can tell on the minimap they are bringing the bomb back through connector down towards the B bomb site. Got to be a little bit careful. Rubino's playing on the other side here. Not sure if he's done any pre-firing through, but he has. Now he's actually almost walking into that bullet. That's so scary. They got PRB as well playing by barrels. Going to smoke off one side, and that's going to hopefully help them out a fair bit here. They do need to win a lot more rounds, so pretty much all the rest of the rounds here playing CT side. Smith's hoping for an opening. And look at the clock here. 25 seconds, they're committed.
They're looking so good right now. And Smith's not going to find anything to work with here on his AWP. It's going to be PRB instead playing behind barrels to take out Kyo. Rubino, random shots through from CT, but he's finding them, gets the headshot, and it's not going to be the last kill for him. It's going to go to Mystic, but still, He gives the helping hand, gets that assist, and even goes for the shots into Happy's corpse. So there you go, man. LGB starting to wake up a little bit here towards the end of the first half. They've stabilized. Now, how far do EnVy take this? How far do EnVy go?
Well, look at it. Normally, or at least a lot of the team would just be... they are just evening out their economy. But look at Shox. I mean, when you're down to 1,600, you're not so much evening out as you are just, like, you know, buying just for the sake of it. Like, you really, really want it. Maybe also shows you EnVy are fine with the 7 rounds they've got so far. They're not too worried about winning anymore, but if they could steal it away with an eco here, they'd obviously be very happy with that. Jacob going to pick up 1. 4 bullets left here. A little bit of a risk not reloading, but he gets the headshot either way. And that, I guess, says a lot about Jacob's style, doesn't it? Like, he is just an aim machine.
Exactly. That's the big thing. He's one of the top aimers in Norway, no doubt about it. Behind Rain, pretty much. So that tells you some shows you that he's pretty confident in his ability to pick up the kills like that. But that's, I'm kind of surprised that EnVy just go running past restroom with how aggressive Jacob's been playing that position round after round after round after round. You would think that, okay, they would at least spare a glance. But they don't even look to the left. They just go jumping past. Smith is like, I'm out of here. Just totally leaves his mate late behind.
Can't be bothered. That ties the score up at 7-7, moving into the last round of the first half here. And again, if you are just joining us, it's only the first map in a best of 3, so there is still plenty to go between these two pretty cool teams. EnVy obviously the favorite team, but LGB are... they're still showing us cool stuff.
Putting up a fight, that's for sure.
Yeah. And look at the boost they've got going on down by the connector, actually. So there's someone on top of... there's Rubino standing on top of Mystic down there, trying to look in for the windows. And this is actually one of the few rounds where EnVy haven't shown themselves there yet. Jacob going to win the fight. Take down MBK. Smiths also fell. And that was Polly picking up the opening frag of the round. Jacob will fall. That's a little bit silly on LGB's part here.
This is definitely very scary. PRB gonna get caught out by Shoxy, and you think for a moment there, LGB, they've got everything under control, seeing as how they've picked up 2 entry frags. I mean, Jacob gets a bit ahead of himself by hunting down, getting greedy, but still a 2-on-2 scenario here, and Rubino's just dropped the bomb carrier. 43 seconds left on this clock, however, so there is time to maneuver here for EnVy, but they're very limited on nades, and now they know where Mystic is. The question is, where's Rubino? And seeing that nade come through, that has to tell everything to here to Kyoshima. Now he knows where the remaining 2 members are. And the timing! The timing! He turns away from Mystic. And against Mystic right now, with how he's playing, you can't make that kind of mistake.
Okay, so LGB win the round, but not in the way that they should have. They should have, well, they deserve to lose that round. The second they decide to push aggressively in a 5v3, that should be just an automatic call on the CT side to play super defensive and safe. Then they almost throw the round away, but they happen to kill the one guy carries the bomb, and that turns it in their favor anyways. That was a really weird round. Now, second half coming up here. It's Kit on Smiths, it's Armor, and then shots with the 1 smoke. And NBK kind of pondering what's going on here. Maybe more Armor. And on the Terror side, it's just Polly for some sort of setup here.
Flash smoke. They're just going to kind of let Rubino split off from the main pack. They're going to take over mid, so in case there was anybody trying to push in here for EnVy, they would run into a wall of Glocks. That's not going to be the case this time, however. EnVy.
This is exactly the pistol round that EnVy ran on their T side. Like,
straight
exactly.
Straight up mid, get in the fight fast. Kyoshima lurking, not hitting the shot though. That's a bit of an awkward situation. And now they know that there's a man on long, and he's kind of pinned because the rest of LGB are not wasting any time at all.
They hunt him down. Kyo goes down. Smith to fall as well. Shoxy in the corner. Dangerous with a pistol always. Straight headshot. Picks up BRB through the smoke as well. And Polly went down to NBK. Bomb is dropped right at the steps of that bomb site. And it's a 2v3. EnVy, they stole away the pistol round of the first half. They might almost do it again here. Is Jacob will take down Shox. It's a 2v2.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they have any idea that the remaining 2 members are here in bank, but they don't really have to worry about them with this angle. Happy's going to go charging through, takes the fight, and he runs into a headshot from Mystic. USP, and now NBK with 5 HP left. Basically, 2 headshots are all that he's allowed to make here, because if it takes any longer than that, he's a dead man. Spots out the first man, tries to take the straight up fight, but he is not going to do it. Just manages to tag that man. But LGB just somehow get that win going. Happy just going all out, aggressive, not expecting to have the second man behind covering that bomb planter.
Yeah, wow. That was a close, a really, really close round. Those 2 kills from Shox could have really turned it. And,
yeah, that's...
he's one of the top pistol players, I would say, still in the game. Definitely. So, got to be careful whenever he's still on the map anywhere. 9-7 at the moment. And LGB playing this round a little bit more carefully, but still trying to stay somewhat grouped up. Apart from Polly, I think that's outside the B-bomb side. Everyone else is sort of in a group, and they're actually going to group up with him anyway, so one big happy family.
Eventually, yeah, look at this. He's going to lurk his way all the way out onto the B site. I'm not sure if he got spotted there, though. He might have. He's certainly been spotted now, and there you go. Cleans up NBK with that Mag 10. 600 bucks in his pocket. And he's going to have that smoke as well, so... Sniper's going to be basically a non-factor, and Jacob is going to be able to pick off Happy, so that's in the main entrance to CT. Mystic already holding. He should have spotted that man drop down into sewer, and he does. Smiths gets cleaned up. And then that leaves it down to Kyoshima and Shoxy. Shoxy's got that scout, though, so it doesn't look like Envy want to have anything to do with this. They want to back off and try and hold on to their guns.
Yeah, not a bad call. Not a bad lurk from Polly, as you were talking about. Just sort of sneaking in there. Feels so good whenever you can do that, because you get confirmation that there is no stack. Your teammates are right outside, and you get that kill as well. But the fact is, even if Polly did somehow lose that fight, it'd still be worth it for him to lurk in like that. It's still pretty good. Like, the information gathered in that push is still really invaluable.
And also, he's not holding on to an AK. That's the other power of these SMGs. So he doesn't have to worry. You know, he's not dropping a rifle to Envy. He's only dropping a Mac 10, so it's not the end of the world if he goes down. Well, now it's basically Envy. This is going to be another, basically like a wash round, and LGB are going to be able to extend their lead, or they should be able to extend it, barring some magical play from Shoxy.
Yeah, but that's where I feel like Envy is such a hard team to play against, aren't they? Because you're right, it should be LGB cleaning this round up. And it seems like it's always right in these moments that Envy come alive the most, and suddenly it really works out for them. This time they do have a stack at the B-bomb site, and that's actually going to probably end up being the wrong place for it, while making its way slowly up towards the restrooms. And Shocks, yeah, magic I think is the right word. It's going to have to be just a whole series of headshots.
He's going to be hard pressed though if he gets smoked, and there it is. Smoke goes down on bank. That's not going to help things, and that bomb, once again, making use of the new plant position. This is what makes it so difficult. Double nade, perfect. Touchdown, PRB. And Polly basically tag teaming it, taking out NBK. Smith's happy to fall as well. Now that leaves Shoxy all by his lonesome with the help of Kyoshima, who has his Kevlar. Shoxy shot there, and that's going to rush it right into Kyoshima, who's waiting to support Shoxy, so no free kill there. But then Kyo gets ahead of himself, tries to peek out. And there it is. Shoxy with the headshot onto Mystic. He even gets the tag on a Rubino.
Yeah, that was close, but not close enough, and it will be 11-7. That was actually kind of cool. They ran in through the Molotov, and the grenade connected with them. So it was one grenade kill, one Molotov kill. Almost for a minute here. Here we go. Oh, he actually runs into it, and it's already softened up.
He's actually dead before that HE picks.
That's the new feature that they're gonna add as well, is that you can throw the Molotov without lighting it, and you can throw a grenade to light it. So it's just like oil on the ground, and then when someone walks in, it's like a trap, and you set it on fire with the grenade.
But you know, what do you mean? This is like Hollywood. If you shoot bullets at it, it should light on fire.
Oh yeah,
too,
that's
right?
true. That too, yeah. That would actually be kind of insane. Nice boost. Happy. I was going to say standing on the shoulders of MBK, but he's really standing on his face, which is just uncomfortable.
This is why it's like this A site. It's no surprise to see LGB just constantly hitting it. Teams are still trying to figure out how to hold it now because they feel like it's very awkward now. It's a very congested area to try and like hold properly. And also with the boxes there now, you have practically a safe plant that you can get at will. It's very difficult for teams to actually lock down this site effectively right now since the changes went through. So LGB just taking full advantage. Happy spots out the man though, and he's going to get that kill eventually, but not before Polly takes out his teammate Smith. So man advantage maintained here by LGB.
Yeah, they are still a man up, but the two of them are very low. So one bullet here could change everything. Shock's trying to creep forward, get a little bit of information. Definitely smart play from LGB, or from Envy, sorry. Mystic is going to go down, so it's back into a 3v3. But because they get that kill so far up, you can see they're already rotating back down here. NBK hasn't even heard them before they're already rotating. They can make that call because of that really forward kill. And then the Molotov goes down to try and block them off here. 16 seconds left, and they have to make their way through. NBK so close to the bomb site. This is going to be a really tough round for LGB.
Yeah, nice headshot there on the Rubino, and that cancels out the bomb plant. Wow. PRB decides to pull off that bomb plant, maybe messing up the timing just slightly there, because it looked like he had it. Could that have been a mistake there? I mean, because that bonus $800 for everybody makes a difference.
Yeah, I think he cancels it.
He cancels it.
I think he just decides I have to fight instead of planning, and maybe we can win the round. Bit of a tough call, really. I don't know if we could do it, but there's a sign up in the A bomb site. There's like a park overview sign. And one of the ways I actually really enjoy when I see teams defending, because we were just talking about how hard it is to defend A. If you are boosted up by that sign, yeah, right there, you can sort of look down towards the restrooms. You can stand on top of it, and you can sort of look down there. Yeah. That's a really nice angle. It's a really, really nice trick that CTs use. That's one of the ways I've seen people try and deal with defending A, but you're right. I think teams are still learning slowly, but it can be super effective.
You mentioned that boost, and it's basically TSM who really like to use that boost with the Vice.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll get that AWP, and they'll just put, or Cajun, right? It's like either Device or Cajun, they'll get boosted up there. And yeah, it does give them. It's just still such an awkward spot, because if you lose control of one or the other, like mid or long, you're so exposed. And that open area right there that Rubino was just aiming at, you're just so exposed in that position. You just have to hold really passive behind bank, but then they're practically on top of the site by the time you realize, or you can peek out there. It's still very awkward. But there's the shots. Great spray by Jacob, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade here. This allows for them to try and push onto this site. 2 members alive on that site, however. And at third here, Shoxy managing to pick up the kills. He finally gets overwhelmed. That leaves it down to NBK now, but NBK, he's here very quickly. Needed to win that duel versus Rubino, however, because Mystic was planting safe. And again, there's another thing. You know, that safe plant behind the boxes. Yes. How do you deny that if you aren't on that site? It's impossible.
Well, I mean, maybe. I would say if it becomes, like, this goes back to my whole rant about default planting, where if you plant default every time, there is always going to be a way to stop that from happening. Then the game becomes, let them get in and try and plant, then be ready with the double and triple grenades. Learn the angle for it, and grenade the hell out of them. So, yeah, I mean, right now no one's really done it, but why not? Polly picking up 2 good kills with the MP, with the P90 as well, and then Jacob and PRB chiming in to help out. So 13-8. This is LGB just on fire. They're playing so well, the Norwegian team at the moment. Really exciting stuff, and yeah, I don't know what to say. Envy look, they don't even look like they're not warmed up or they're not cold or anything. They're just looks to me like right now, like LGB are just playing better, straight up.
Yeah, straight up when it comes to the duels and just the aggression from LGB. Rubino and Mystic, both of them seem to be firing on all cylinders right now, which is very interesting to see, because last time Rubino, I believe, was lagging a little bit behind. It was really just like the Mystic show on LGB. So the fact that now we have a couple of members here stepping up, Pauly now adding a say as well. Semler, don't leave me out of it. I'm sorry, Pauly. You know, you take out Happy. Okay, Pauly's also stepping up. So, I mean, man advantage now for LGB. They have the nades. They have everything they need. It's all about just slowing down the pace. And you can see they still kind of lurk around because they know that Envy are going to want to risk something. They're going to want to try and get some information. And that's Rubino taking out Kyoshima. Smith falls to PRB. I mean, at that point, if Envy are a man down, they're thinking, well, we need to actually get out here and maybe try and even it up, bring it back to a 4-on-4, or at least get info. But LGB holding static everywhere and just winning all these duels makes such a big difference.
That boost by the restrooms looked sort of used to look actually both ways. You can spot people coming up mid-connector. You can spot them when they go the normal way around in through to restrooms. Was caught entirely. LGB just pre-aimed that and took them out really easily. That has become such a normal boost as well that it's you know, maybe even predictable at this point.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful with that. LGB, they're not sleeping today. They are ready.
They're on point right now. This is a real pleasure to watch. And there you go. Once again, just safe plant behind the boxes. And of course, Shoxy isn't really going to be able to do anything about it. He's got his AWP, and he's all by his lonesome over here in T-Spawn. So, you know, just admiring some of the street art, maybe. Admiring, you know, and taking his time. A little bit of a stroll. It's good to stretch your legs, you know, if you spend all your day sitting down. You got to go for a walk every now and again. This is what he's thinking.
He's certainly getting it done. Saving this up right now could be Envy's way back into this game, essentially.
Right now, yeah, look at this. He's trying to triangulate, basically, like figure out where they're coming from. He hears the steps for a second.
Yeah, everywhere, Sharks. He's gonna stay put. Turned out he picked a really damn good spot for it. 14-8, and now the French team are going to be playing with their backs against the wall. They have to just essentially play flawlessly from here on out, which we've seen them do before, so it could definitely happen. But LGB are just playing with a really high level of focus and also a lot of speed, really. Like, they're not slow to get across the map. They just run, take the fights, and so far they've been winning them. So, I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the ultimate combination, right? bit of the Molotov over here, and this isn't too bad a situation to have your CZs up close. Smith could potentially pick things up. NBK is going to find the first kill, and that's Kiyoshima actually waiting in connector to pick off Rubino. Now Kiyoshima could have a gun to work with. That would be pleasant for him. Mystic is going to spot out Shoxy, who's got that AWP, but Shoxy catches out Jacob. PRB there. However, the second man catching Shoxy off guard, and Happy not able to land the shot with the Nova. He does drop Poly down to 9 HP, but...
Yeah, if one more pellet had sort of tagged him in the leg somewhere, that would have been it, but here's just a pellet short. Smith is covering the bomb, weirdly enough. Just looking at it right through the smoke, but he's also alone. And they are slowly, I mean, they got so much time. They can just group up around him, and that should be the end of it. Not sure if they realize exactly where he is yet, but surely they're going to congregate around this bomb eventually.
Look at this. They're just combing right now. And Smith's making it look like, you know, I'm not up here. I'm down below, man. I'm just waiting down in connector right now. Nobody up here. PRB, nobody up here, man. Nobody. Don't worry. Oh my God! Surprise! No, there's people there. Smith's poor guy. He tried.
Yeah, he really tried to sell it. I mean, he did a really good job as well. That could have definitely worked, but. Oh man, I think PRB at least definitely got caught off guard. 15-8. It is map point currently for LGB. What a surprise! This is just turning into a really strange day, isn't it? Flipside getting annihilated
annihilated
by Neophyte. And now LGB, well, they're not exactly annihilating Envy, but they're definitely outplaying them.
They're doing a pretty damn good job, no doubt about that. And Shoxy taking up that position that Jacob favored so much during their first half on the CT side LGB. So we'll see if he's going to be able to catch somebody out. But Jacob, he's wise. He's wily to his own games. Smiths is going to get the kill on him, though. And Shoxy sets up as well. Nicely done there. Staves off the attack from Mystic. A two-man now, a two-man advantage, although Shoxy decides to swap to the nade at the wrong time. He's going to get caught.
Yeah, it felt like he was already living way past his expectancy then, so maybe it was about time anyway. They are going to move up towards the A-bomb site. Good pop flash in there. Kiyoshima will pick up that kill. Really nice pop flash. Just not a lot of time to react to that one.
Oh, Rubino. From mid. That's the thing. You know, if you peek long like Kiyoshima was, you're exposed to mid, and he's going to pay for it. Rubino, however, going to get flanked. No, Poly is there to save the day. Once again, you could just get this split. It's so awkward on the A site. And now LGB, they're just waiting for the rotate to come in. NBK with the swag 7. If he catches Rubino, this would be fantastic. Rubino is low, but Rubino hits a sick headshot. Does not let him get anything done, and that is going to be the first map for LGB. And it seems like for quite some time, Envy have struggled a little bit with Overpass. They're not their dominant selves, the selves that we've seen them, you know, where they just used to run over teams on this map.
No, apparently
not really the level that we expect to see out of these guys, honestly. I'm just thinking back to the days of like Happy with his op on B site, you know, just like completely slamming teams, and you know, where it was like never really, it seemed like the Envy were struggling.
I mean, what's really interesting is that Envy did actually win a bunch of rounds with, or they won 2 crucial rounds in the first half with pistols. That's usually where they sort of, historically speaking, where they turn the games, right? It's like just when you feel like we've got them, you know, bent so far, next time they're gonna break, and then they snap right back.
Yeah.
But this time they succeeded in doing that, and then they still just couldn't do anything. Super performance from Rubino as well. You were pointing out he had kind of a weird game last time around, but he's also one of the most sort of dedicated and hardest working people on that team, just like in terms of time spent in game. So I don't think it's surprising, and I think none of us are surprised really that he can sort of bounce back and have a game like this.
It used to be that he was like one of the players that basically spent the most time like DMing like ever. Like this guy would just put thousands of frags in a day, basically, just you know, hours and hours and hours working on his aim. So Rubino certainly has put in the work. Yeah, it's good to see that bearing fruit. You know, Mystic as well, though. I mean, both of those guys, that combination, and it seems like basically that combination, if they're working well together, LGB kind of feed off of that, because then Pauly starts coming to the fore, Jacob with some good shots, and everywhere Envy went, they were just losing duels. So that's kind of the reality here. And also, I mean, LGB also just really taking great advantage of that A site. They went down to the B site like once or something. You know, NBK got a couple headshots there, but apart from that, it was pretty much just, you know, big pointy letters all over the place.
Yeah, wow. That is just a tremendous performance there. Taking away Overpass. Envy, I'm pretty sure they picked Inferno, but the thing is, I mean, they've been picking Inferno a lot, and they've also been losing it a fair bit recently. So It's that confidence that we keep talking about, you know.
Are you happy?
Yeah. And you keep thinking, like, did they just pick it because they have to prove to themselves that it's going to work out? This particular, well, not exactly this lineup, because this lineup hasn't really existed before, but some of the core in this lineup, when they were playing on London Conspiracy, this was like their absolute strongest map playing Inferno. So some of the players involved here have pretty good track records on Inferno.
Rubino used to be one of the best B site men in the business. Like, that guy could hold that site all day long.
Exactly. So, you know, maybe there's a chance. I don't know. LGB, they're a fun team to watch right now.
I think the most interesting thing is that, you know, you made a Blade Runner reference in this, and you didn't even know it.
Tell me.
Like, you just went right over it, you know? Because Shoxy, you know, he hit his expiration date. Clearly, to be as good as Shoxy is, he has to be an Android. You're right, Anders. You got to the bottom of it. You're in on the secret. I've known for a little bit, but I'm glad that Anders, you know, he finally figured it out. Shoxy.
It's the only logical explanation, really.
Android. Gotta be.
All right, well, on that note, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Inferno in just a few seconds, so stay with us.